Hey football fans, welcome back to Chronochord Sports and our 2015 NFL Pick'ems. This is week 3, along with C-Dub. My name is JC, and we're here to give you our predictions for the upcoming games this Sunday. Before we get to that, let's take a look back at our results from week 2. C-Dub, it was not pretty, my friend.
No, sir. The week 2 predictions, man, not so hot. Going into week 2, the point standings were I had 8 points, you had 10. Of course, you took the win week 1. This week, week 2, I got it. But this was an ugly victory, JC. I came away with 6 correct picks. You had 3. Nevertheless, taking the lead in our totals going into this week, week 3, I have 14 points and you are behind by 1 with 13. Man, these picks this week are going to be really, really big to see who gets that lead. Pretty much neck and neck here.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a much better week with my picks. I did absolutely terrible. Time for some redemption for JC here. Of course, the way we score our Pick'ems League is you simply get 1 point for a correct prediction and 0 points for a wrong prediction. And we also do a weekly winner. So, like we mentioned in episode 1, we are vying for a big old plate of scrumptious chicken wings and a championship belt. All right, C-Dub, let's jump right in to our picks. Coming up on Thursday night, we have the Washington football squad visiting the New York Giants. Both teams have been kind of struggling. The Redskins pulled out a win against the Rams last week, showing a very good ground game. Meanwhile, the Giants failed again. Terrible clock management. But despite this, I am going to go with the home team, the Giants. C-Dub, who you taking?
JC, I'm going to go with the Redskins here. They looked pretty good last week against the Rams. Meanwhile, the Giants, I got to say, dropping to the Falcons there. Even though they are going to be at home, I don't think they're going to have what it takes to take down Washington. This might be a shocker to some folks, but I'm taking the Skins on the road. In the first of the 1 o'clock games on Sunday, we have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. JC, of course, in week 2, the Ravens lost to the Raiders, as I correctly predicted. What a shocker that was. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. JC, who's it going to be, Cincinnati or Baltimore?
C-Dub, my pick will be the Baltimore Ravens. Coming off the upset win against the Ravens, the Raiders are traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns and Johnny Manziel. Johnny had a good showing last week against Tennessee, and the Raiders look like they are on the rise. I'm going to take the Raiders here. I think their defense can stifle old Johnny football there.
I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns here, JC. I think that they can defeat Oakland. It really all hinges on Johnny Manziel. Of course, Cleveland always has a pretty good fan base at home. Always makes a difference, just like Oakland knows at the Black Hole. Next up, an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints, fresh off of a home loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. JC, the Panthers had a big win in week 2 over the Texans at home. I'm going to have to go with the Carolina Panthers here to win this one. What do you think?
I am in agreement with you, C-Dub, especially if Drew Brees cannot go this weekend. Apparently, the Buccaneers bruised his rotator cuff in his throwing arm, so he could be out a few weeks possibly. And if Carolina can get Luke Kuechly back from concussion protocol, that will increase their chances for winning even more. I'm picking Carolina. Another 1 o'clock game is the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Jerry's World in Dallas to face the Cowboys. The Cowboys, of course, they lost Dez Bryant, and now they've lost Tony Romo once again, another broken collarbone. Though the Cowboys' defense is pretty good, I see the Falcons overpowering them in the end and just outscoring the Cowboys' offense without Tony Romo.
JC, man, this is a huge, devastating loss, both Tony Romo and Dez Bryant, to my divisional picks in our predictions before week 1 began. Tony Romo has been the guy in Dallas for so long. I mean, that's a big gear to take out of the machine. Atlanta gets the victory. Another 1 o'clock matchup that's near and dear to our hearts here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fresh off of a big win on the road against the New Orleans Saints, are traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. JC, that win last week was amazing. I really didn't expect it to happen. I gotta like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road here. I think that this game against Houston will be a big test to find out if this is for real. I'm taking the Bucs here, JC.
The Bucs looked really good against the Saints, and it feels really good to make this pick. I'm going Bucs here, C-Dub. Next up, we have the struggling Indianapolis Colts. They are traveling to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. I will have to go with somewhat of an upset pick here and go with the Tennessee Titans at home. C-Dub, what's your pick?
JC, I'm going to take the Colts. Despite losing against the Jets on Monday Night Football, it's going to be interesting to see how Mariota can fare at home against the Colts. Nevertheless, I can't give them the edge here. Colts take it. The Jacksonville Jaguars, fresh off of a Week 2 victory by 3 against the Miami Dolphins, are traveling to New England to take on the Patriots, who defeated the Buffalo Bills in Week 2 on the road. JC, I'm going with the Patriots here at home. I have a feeling this is going to be an easy victory for them.
Yeah, I agree. No chance that the Jaguars can pick up a victory this weekend in New England. The Patriots are another class of team. The Chargers are on the road again, heading to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Chargers lost a close one to the Bengals. Phillip Rivers had a decent game, but the Vikings also struggled in Week 1 and came back with a solid victory over the Lions in Week 2. This is a tough call, but I'm going to have to go with Phillip Rivers and the Chargers on the road.
JC, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. Teddy B is doing some great things, like you said, and I think that he can come out here and close the door on the Chargers at home. The Philadelphia Eagles, coming off of a big loss to the Dallas Cowboys at home, will be traveling to take on the New York Jets, who had a big win on Monday Night Football over the Colts. JC, I think the Jets are going to do it here. Philadelphia has not looked all that great coming out this season. Not that the Jets have looked fantastic, but I just don't think that the Philadelphia Eagles can do it here. What's your pick?
My pick will be the New York Jets. It looks like the Chip Kelly experiment with him completely overhauling that lineup in Philadelphia. It's not going so well, C-Dub. Next up, we have the Steelers traveling to the Rams in St. Louis. Another 1 o'clock game here. Steelers put up a big game against the 49er defense last week. My gut tells me, C-Dub, that the Steelers are going to go crazy once again. That Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger connection, probably one of the best in the league right now. Steelers are my pick.
I agree. Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go coast to coast in the dome and put it on the St. Louis Rams. I think this one's going to be pretty much a lock to me. I think Big Ben is going to make it happen. At 4:05 Sunday, the San Francisco 49ers are traveling to take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals won last week over the Bears on the road. Big victory for them. JC, I'm going to go with the Cardinals here at 4:05 to win against the Niners. Who are you taking?
C-Dub, I am also going with the Arizona Cardinals. They're looking very, very good so far. Carson Palmer's on his game right now, I must say. Fitzgerald's looking like the Fitzgerald of old. And the 49ers are a question mark for sure. They handled the Vikings Week 1 and got their asses whooped by the Steelers in Week 2. So it's hard to say what team will show up on Sunday. At 4:25, we have the Buffalo Bills traveling to the Miami Dolphins. An AFC East showdown here. The Bills coming off a tough loss to the Patriots and the Dolphins getting upset by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both teams have definitely underperformed in Week 2. Both teams looking for a rebound win. I'm going Bills here, C-Dub. Who are you taking?
I agree, JC. Bills are going to go to the 3:05 and put it on the Dolphins, no problem. I think that the Bills are going to be a major contender here. They have proven that they can hang with those big teams. I don't think the Dolphins are going to do it despite being at home. Enjoy your vacation down south, Bills, and get the victory. At 4:25, the Chicago Bears are heading to take on Seattle and the 12th man. Always a major presence at home. I don't think the Bears are going to be able to defeat the Seahawks here. That's quite a trip out west for them. Chicago, sorry, but Seattle's going to take the victory here. JC, who gets it?
Even if Cutler was going to be in the lineup for the Bears, he is out with a hamstring injury. So Jimmy Clausen takes over the quarterback role for the Bears. And going into Seattle, that's just not a good thing. I see the Seahawks rolling over Chicago here. And at 8:30 on Sunday night, we have Old Peyton and the Denver Broncos heading to Detroit to take on the Lions. And Matthew Stafford is a question mark for this game. And even despite that, I think the Broncos defense is just playing too damn well right now. My pick will be the Denver Broncos.
Omaha. Peyton Manning is going to do it on the road here. I know a lot of people are really doubting Peyton out there, wondering if he should hang it up and if he still has what it takes. But hey, I'll watch Peyton Manning play as long as he thinks he can. The guy knows when it's time to hang it up. And I'm hoping that Peyton has a fantastic season here and continues that with a win against the Lions on the road. This week's Monday Night Football matchup, JC, features the Kansas City Chiefs, who were fresh off of a loss against the Denver Broncos, traveling to Lambeau Field to take on the Packers, who defeated the Seahawks at home. JC, I like the Packers here. What's your choice?
Grab me a big old hunk of cheese because I'm taking the Packers as well. The Chiefs, though they looked very strong in week 1, week 2, they blew it. And Aaron Rodgers is by far the best quarterback in the NFL. There's no way you can beat him on his home turf. Packers all the way.
Discount double check. Green Bay going to get that big victory on Monday Night Football. There you see it, folks, on screen. All of the matchups now for week 3. Go ahead right now and drop down below in the comments and let us know your picks for week 3 coming up in the NFL. Make sure to stay tuned and subscribe to Chronochord Sports for our weekly NFL pick'ems. For my co-host JC, I am C-Dub. Hut, hut, hike.